This will be a hypothetical question to a friend about making accurate measurements yourself. And I certainly learned the hard way that to be effective, I have to measure myself accurately using a Snellen and test lenses. In college, I had the concept of the meta eye, meaning all eyes at birth that don't have any medical defects because you involve medicine, and all of a sudden, eyes that are totally normal become defective. It's crazy. So I never thought defect. When I think about meta eye, I think of the meta eye at birth as highly sophisticated. There's no failure. It has refractive states, plus, mostly, although minus is possible, measured with a retinoscope. But as soon as you infer or imply that a refractive state is a medical defect, you're no longer involving the concept of the meta eye. I do that to avoid medical people getting upset because they think they know what they're doing most of the time. So my friend did this. He made similar judgments. I had published a paper on the meta eye just to see how people think. It was a working control system, which I further improved. And I found about my friend through these publications and the fact that he also noticed that the eye goes down in long-term near environments, changing their refractive state from plus 2020 to minus 2060. And his idea was to get his kids, I think they were probably about 12 years old, to wear a plus when they were reading, like I'm doing. The idea was to stop the eye from going negative. I don't know how many years he was doing this. And the real question I have is, did you teach your kids to make your accurate refractive measurements? When I say that, I mean like doctor of optics. Like it takes about 2 months for an engineer to make accurate refractive measurements with the technical knowledge to do it. Now, I don't ultimately know what happened to his kid's refractive state. And the question is, do they measure it or have they measured it? And I think their refractive state is positive now, but he never talked about it. Now, that's why I use the term meta eye. And that's why I do a mathematical model to represent the meta eye that will become negative because it follows or is servoed to the accommodation system. Now, if you're an engineer, you'll understand the word I'm talking about. And if you can learn doctor of optics measurements, meaning using a Snellen and test lenses, you can verify that if you're getting close to become nearsighted or your refractive state becomes less and less positive and then goes through zero, and then you have a problem reading the 2060 line. This is to take complete control by measurement and have a concept of the meta eye and use it correctly. So I had no idea, as long as you're passing the DMV, then you're not going to be concerned. But as Rafelson recognized, you have kids doing this, and the parents don't do anything about it. That kid's going to lose his vision at about one diopter per year. This is Joey Allen and myself. The parents don't know that if they have a kid doing that, kid's going to lose his vision or his meta-I will change from positive to negative. And then they'll call it the error or medical defect. A refractive state of the completely normal eye is not a medical defect. It's made defective because it's convenient to prescribe a minus lens for people who don't know what they're doing. So that really is my question, or if there were to be a study, then involve engineers and teach them Doctor of Optics. And you can do this about 4 months or whatever. It's engineering and science, but you do understand the argument about accurately representing the meta-I. I'm not going to argue with medical people. They really don't know what to do about it anyway. And even if they did, they wouldn't do anything about it because you don't know what you want to do. So I hope I don't insult anybody. I don't intend to do that. I intend to protect my distant vision by making accurate refractive measurements. I just didn't know to do this when I was a child. So I paid the consequences. So this will go to my friend, and I hope for a thoughtful response. He's also an engineer and spent a lot of time talking about it, thinking about it, writing about it, and helping his own children. The only thing I would do with a child or a young man is have him make accurate measurements the way I'm doing it. And if you don't do it the way I'm doing it, you're really not going to succeed, because prevention is long-term plus wear when necessary. And that's up to you making your own measurements and always passing, doing better than 20/20, meaning I could read the 20/20 line through a plus half diopter lens. That is a buffer, a safety buffer. That is a meta-I with a positive refractive state. So that is my hypothetical question. I'm pretty sure yet his kids have 20/20. They're probably in about 30 years old by now or so. So they never got into it. And somehow a success like that is never called a success. It's like Rupa Wong keeping her kids' eyes 20 inches off the page and playing tennis. Their refractive state would be measured positive if they personally measured their refractive state the way I'm doing it. That's the only way that you get a person to do something that's worthwhile and useful for him. Have him make accurate measurements of his refractive states and understand the concept of the meta-I by mathematical analysis or control system analysis, if you have that type of background, and ask yourself how important is having positive refraction to me if I must measure it myself. Thanks for your interest. I enjoy this work. It's worthwhile. Good friends to argue about technical scientific ideas and goals, and to help engineers avoid entering myopia. Add your own commentary. Thank you.